Alright, okay, okay, we live. We have just begun. And before I even introduce our guest, I'm just gonna start right off the bat saying that I'm impressed with the growth that you have had in the past couple of years, even though I did not know you before back then. But from what you have told me, from what I've seen through the social medias, you've undergone such great changes in the last couple of years and couple of months. And I'm just curious, how how prepared were you for all that growth? Did you see it coming, or was it just like a slap in the face?
Honestly speaking, I had no idea of what was coming to my life, honestly. And when all of the things they start happening, I think we will talk like in more detail after. When all the things start happening, all the process they start happening, they start unfolding. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't see the big picture. I was just seeing like little pieces of my life, and I just saw that things were falling apart. And then with time, things started to fit in place, which was like a really interesting experience. And now to be able to look to myself and see all of the processes that I went through and like how I am growing and evolving as a human being now is it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. But I wasn't ready.
And
If that's your question, I was not.
that's it. And from from that moment that you said that the pieces were still coming together and you were still not being able to see the big picture and what all the blessings that you receive from this process,
Hmm.
how long did it take from that point that you're completely lost and confused until you're like, okay, I'm starting to understand what's happening, I'm starting to get comfortable? How long was that from point A to point B? How long did that take?
Well, I would say that most of my life I didn't know what exactly I was doing, what was going on in my life. Like starting from my teenage years, you're going through that entire process, you finding yourself and you're being rebellious and you don't really know what's going on with you. You think that you're like the black sheep or something. And then years
Mhm.
start passing by and then you go to some experiences. Some are really good and the other ones are like a bit sour. And then I don't know. I think that I would say the past 2 years. I think yeah, the past 2 years. But I would say mostly like last year was the year that I actually start to understand everything that happened throughout my life, and then I start connecting the pieces and the dots and like trying to understand myself better in order to get over and to fix certain situations from my past and for like my entire life process. So yeah, 1 2 years I think, yeah, but the struggle was real. It was an entire life struggle, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Ivandra, Jofane, and I don't even know how to make this intro because I could just say so much in this intro. But first, thank you for starting to listen to this episode of the podcast. Last weekend we did not have any podcast, but I'm making it up to you guys with this amazing episode that I know that it will be today. We have Ivandra out here, and yeah, we started talking about like a month and like 4 days, a month and 4 days ago,
Yep.
and and since then we just connected and bonded over our different experiences and growth and just trying to figure out who we are and unraveling a lot of patterns that we carried on from childhood and all those good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just know at a certain point, I think like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that I would have to make a podcast with her because she could bring so much value to your life, and that's exactly about what we're about to do right now. So I hope you're ready for this. And damn, this is exciting. This is exciting. How are you doing? I think it's the fourth time that I'm asking you this, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, that is actually the fourth or fifth time, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm actually great. I'm doing fine, just living and enjoying whatever it is happening through this past months and this roller coaster of emotions that I've been experienced in life. But apart from that, everything is fine. I'm grateful at pretty much every day. It's amazing.
Yeah. You just how long has it been since you came back from Japan? One month, I think, or more or less.
Uh, Almost a month. Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Months.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how's that been? How have you adapted from the change from the culture from Japan and going coming back to Mars? How have you been adapting to that?
Honestly speaking, it's not that hard. I had a lot of expectations when I was back in Japan because I just got so used to their culture and the way that they live and pretty much everything. Then I was like so worried and I was so anxious. I was like, wow, now I'm going back to Mars, and things are, of course, things are a bit different. Like each country is a country and it has its own rules and culture and the way that people are, the way that people behave. And I just got so deep into the Japanese culture that I was like, oh my god, I'm going back to Mars, and people will definitely think that I'm a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has been interesting so far. I got back and then I had to stay at quarantine for 2 weeks. We
Which you didn't really do. You didn't do that. Nah, 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 nah. You didn't do.
talked about that here.
You
Yeah,
did not stay in quarantine.
I did. Come on, I did. I took the test, I got the result, and I was like, okay, everything is fine now. I'm a free person. I can continue living my life the way that I was living, and yeah, and
Okay.
it's actually really interesting to see this entire process. That I've been abroad and I've been exposed to like this particular country and this experience and a different way of living. I really believe that those are the kind of experiences that change you as a person, and be able to get back to Moz now and implement the things that I've learned back then. Because yeah, I was in Japan, I was working, but apart from that, I was also growing. I was finding myself. I was far away from home. It was like the first time that I was like away from my parents for quite some time, and it was a complicated time, with COVID happening, and we had to start like working from home and being isolated from pretty much everything. It in a way it starts like to mess up with your mental strength. You start like it touches you in a way, but then to be able to surpass that and just be back home and be like, oh, I'm okay. And it feels so good to be, next to the people that I love, my family, my friends, and be able to like establish like new connections with like really nice and cool, awesome people like you and other people that I've been meeting through this journey. It has been an amazing process so far.
That's, that's great. I have so many questions, but
Yeah.
I will start with a basic question. Like you stayed 6 months in Japan, right? 6 months?
Mm, yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, you stayed 6 months in Japan
Yeah.
and different culture, different experiences,
Yeah.
working there, different type of people, different type of activities, a lot of growth. What were the three major takeaways that you had from that experience that if you could, you just fucking imprint on everyone's brain here in Mozambique? Where were the three major takeaways that like, yo, people, my people back there home, they need to know these three things. What are those
Yeah. Yeah.
three things?
I think I shared this with you, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think yeah we had a conversation and I actually spoke with you about this. Um, Especially because of the time that I was in Japan, that it was a really hard time. COVID was starting, the cases were starting to rise up in Japan, and we had no idea what was going on. We had no idea like what exactly COVID was. We had such little information about it. So for me,
Yeah.
one of the major lessons that I took with me, and I always bring up whenever I have conversations with the people, has a lot to do with empathy.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Mozambique, honestly speaking, and I heard about COVID is going on and blah 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 blah, and in China, I was like, I'm in Moz, I'm going to Japan, I'm cool, I'm okay, I'm fine, everything is under control. But the moment that I got in Japan and I realized, COVID cases in Japan, they were rising, and there was this what was the name? There was like this cruise ship called Diamond Princess, and there were people there, and there were COVID cases there, and it was like really near from the place where I was staying. That's when I started feeling panic, and that's when I started actually caring for the people. Like, I started caring for the people that I work with, the people that were there, they were taking care of me. So I've learned a lot about empathy, that it doesn't really have to do with where you are precisely, but you need to like have that sense and like care about, some other human being. Because when I was in Mozambique, I clearly did not care much about coronavirus. But when I was there and the cases were rising and there were people getting sick and infected, and a lot of people, they start panicking and freaking out, and people start like buying things like, like paper toilet. We were running out of paper toilet, and so many other things. We had no supply. And then I just went to my colleagues. I was like, I'm running out of supply. I've got no toilet paper. And then my colleagues, they started like giving me like what they had to support me, so I could like be able to manage myself throughout that time. For me, that was like amazing. And I've learned a lot about that, about caring for the other people, doing what we can in order to help, share what we have, which is like really important. So for me, that was like the major lesson that I took from this experience, this 6 months in Japan. The second one has a lot to do with time, because sometimes we think that we have all the time in the world to do what we want to do. Sometimes you procrastinate. Like I have an issue. I think, yeah, I think that one of like my main problems has to do with procrastination, honestly speaking, because I was like that. I thought that I had time to do the things that I wanted to do there, the places that I wanted to explore, and I would always postpone my travels, my activities. Like, I still have time, I still have time, blah blah blah. But then Corona happened, then we had to face lockdown, 2 months at home, no contact whatsoever with other people, with the outside world. So that made me realize that, if you want to do something, just do now. There is no tomorrow. There is no later on. There, just do it, and did that particular moment, because you never know when you're going to have a moment like that, or if you will have an opportunity like that. So that was like the second most important thing about time, about valuing your time, about just, when you want something, you just go for it. Like, don't try to run away from it, don't try to postpone it or whatever. Just go, because life is extremely unpredictable. And I think that we have been experiencing that a lot in 2020. This is one of the most, I don't know, unpredictable years that we've all experienced as humans in this life. And the third one definitely has to do with, we don't have control over anything else but ourselves. Because sometimes
You,
we have this need to like control like the external, like what is going on, with other people. And we think that we have control over those things, but at the end of the day, the only thing that we can control, or that we can manage, or that we can try to make it better, is just ourselves. The world, the way that the world is now, we can clearly see that um we're losing loved people that we love. So many, I don't know, like so many crazy things are just happening, are going on. It's complicated timings. And that's when you realize that you can only, yeah, take care and control yourself, and you have no control whatsoever over external things. So for me, those were the three major learnings that I'll definitely take for the rest of my life. And I try to share that with other people too, because I really found that extremely, extremely important.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one was the empathy and sense of community
Yes.
and helping each other and all that.
Yes.
Two two was the time, not postponing things,
Yeah.
living in the present moment,
Yes.
doing whatever you have to do. And then three, just stick to what you can control, which is usually yourself and not the external
Yeah.
uh, situations of the world. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What have you been reading lately? Books? What books have
Uh,
are in scope?
lately, so I'm currently reading what is the title of that book? 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin. I started reading this book because I was going to actually mental breakdown. Like when I started making my videos and sharing my experiences, with people through social media. Like, it's really good, the fact that you open yourself up to people and that you share your histories, but there is a part of your energy that you're letting go. The more you expose yourself, the more vulnerable that you are, the more of your energy that the more you're letting go parts of your energy, parts of you. So there was this time that this entire situation, me opening up, being vulnerable, and start like participating in certain platforms to just share experiences, it just became such a overwhelming experience for me. I just couldn't deal with that anymore. And I was
Overwhelming. Sorry to interrupt you, but overwhelming, just because, as you said, you felt like some part of you was getting away from you, or because you had to kind of relieve those experiences and experience it all over again in your body, in your mind, or was it for another reason?
mm, I think basically has to do with like the energy that I had to that I was like that I would say that I was expelling to the universe, because
Okay, yeah.
yeah, because it's not that simple, you're opening up, and I was like sharing like personal things that happened in my life, because I wanted to like just tell some other people like you're not alone, like I've been through this and this happened and that happened. So by that process of you opening up to people, of course some people are going to come and reach you, and they're going to start sharing their stories, and they expect you to tell them something, and you have to absorb that energy. You have
Mm,
to think,
okay.
to be empathic, and think about pretty much everything that happened to the person and wear the person's shoes so you can tell something. So this exchanging energy, I was absorbing a lot of things, I was letting go, I was being very vulnerable, and it was like my first time doing something of a kind. So it, in a way, it really messed with my mental strength. That's why I just decided to make a break. I just stopped participating in, social, I would say, just platforms, and to talk and blah blah blah. I just needed some time to with myself and to work on myself and my mental strength, because I believe that the same way that we, when we're feeling sick, or when we have, I don't know, we have a headache or something, we go to the doctor and then he gives us a medicine that we take and we feel better. I believe that that's the same way that we need to work with our mind. So for me, in order to fix myself, I would say, to do my mental strength, I do that by reading, by meditation, and yoga
Mm,
sometimes, but this other part I still need to work on. So yeah, that's why I decided to start reading this book, 13 Things That Mentally Strong People Don't Do, which I'm still working on it. So I'm currently reading this one. I was also reading Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which I stopped. I need to continue.
you only read chapter one, right?
Sorry.
You only read chapter one, right?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't finish. I think I only saw the. I just read the first chapter, so I definitely need to finish that. But the
Yeah.
last one that I read, that I fully read, it was the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Yeah, very interesting book. I've learned a lot.
Oh, you have to finish. I asked you what books you're reading because of Seven Habits, and we talked about this book today or yesterday. I think it was
Yes,
today. And
yes.
I, I'm asking you because two of the points that you mentioned. First, you mentioned the sense of community, empathy, and etc.
Mm,
And the habit number three on the seven habits is seek first to understand and then to be understood, which is all about empathy.
wow.
And I was like, damn, the book talks about that. And then the third thing that you talked about was control. You focus on what you can control, which is yourself and not others.
Mm,
And the book talks about this thing called circle of concern and circle of influence. That you should
mm,
focus on the circle of influence, which are the things that you can influence, and forget about what you're concerned about, which is it's also from the book, and you also talked about it. And earlier you were talking about something else from the book that you read that you
yeah.
found really valuable. So I think that you love this book. You get a lot from this book.
Definitely, I'm gonna love this book. Yeah, I'm gonna love, because even by reading the first chapter of this book, it helped me understand so many things about my life. Like as we were speaking earlier today or yesterday, about this thing that we have, this tendency that sometimes we quick to judge someone without trying to wear the person's shoes, or try to understand what exactly is the person going through, that we just make some judgment based on what we think that the reality is, but we don't really know what that person is going through, what are the struggles, why is the person behaving in a particular way. So it helped me understand a lot of things about myself first, and about like people. Why do we behave the way that we do? Because there's some people that they have some preferences, they have some preferences, and sometimes they think that the way that they choose to lead or to live their lives is the best way ever. And if you do not follow, and if you do not follow the same rules, that might look like a problem, but at the end of the day, we have different experiences, we are different people, we were raised in different ways, different cultures. Even imagine, even if we're like siblings, we were raised like by our parents, you have your own life experiences. There's certain kind of things that you have been through, there's certain kind of experience that I went through, and they're always going to be different. So you cannot expect by the end of the day that we're the same people with the same choices and we do the same things and etc. So this book, particularly by reading the first chapter, it speaks about, I don't really remember the terms, but it has to do basically with our truth, that each one of us, we lead our life with what we believe that is the best way, what we consider to be the truth for us, you know? And that's the main reason why we see so many people, like for example, like fighting, so many people, they don't accept, for example, like gay people and etc., because it has to do with the way that they were raised. My case, for example, I don't have a religion. I i guide my life following, spirituality, meditation, mindfulness, and trying to get to know myself by that. And throughout my life, I was very much some friends would complain, and my friends would judge me, basically like, you need to have a religion, you need to go to church, you need to find God and etc. and this, and you need to do this and that. And I remember there were even times that they would force me to join this movements, because they thought that there was something wrong with me because I didn't have a religion. But it just has to do with the way that I chose to live my life. And if I find everything that they speak, that they find in the Bible, I find the same way throughout spirituality, throughout meditation, throughout mindfulness. So by the end of the day, it's just different point of views. Everybody has their own truth, and we need to understand that. So the first chapter taught me a lot about this, and it made things easier for me to like understand
Mm,
people and their behavior in general. So I need to finish the book. Definitely. I have to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll remind you like once a week to read it.
Please. Please.
Right.
Yes.
Uh, Something that I would be remiss if I did not touch on
Mm,
is is the is the empathy part, because
yeah.
I'm curious. Were you always as empathetic as you currently are, or was that not always the case?
Nah, that was not always the case. I used to be a hypocrite, honestly, because I would speak about empathy. We need to be empaths. We have to care about other people and other human beings. But I don't think that deep down I was practicing what I was saying,
Yeah.
or what I was taking out to the universe. I was saying that because probably it was politically correct, or because I wanted to be that way, but there were still certain parts of me, some really basic parts of me, that they were not like that. So I felt that after this particular experience that I had in Japan, and dealing with all the crisis, and just seeing how supportive the community they were for me, especially because I was a foreigner, and it was a very bad timing. I think it definitely made me understand like the true meaning of empathy, and this is definitely teaching that I want to carry through the rest of my life with myself, and push others, because it's extremely important. I think it's like one of the main. I'm not even. I don't even know if it's a value, but it's. I don't know. It's one of the main things that we as humans that we should carry with ourselves. Yeah.
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 And now the $100 million question, the
Mhm.
difficult part was,
Difficult.
how would you teach someone to have empathy? How would you try to make sure they implement it in their life? Because for you, it was different because you had this experience that then made you develop the empathy because
Yeah.
of this. But imagine someone doesn't have that experience, is just living normally in life. How would you teach them or guide them to develop more empathy?
Mm, yeah, that's actually a difficult question, and it will be quite a challenge, definitely, because I believe that the best way for us to teach anything to someone, you wouldn't say like I don't think it's like through words. We can speak. We can try to communicate with the person, but the best way for me it would be throughout actions. Because even with me, when I was back in Japan and I was facing problems, and I didn't have things, and the supermarkets, there were no supply whatsoever. I think I've learned about empathy by seeing the way that the people were supporting me, the way that they were so worried to help me, even though they didn't have much, but they wanted to help me. So it was true actions per se. Because I can sit down and speak with someone, yeah, we need to care about each other, we need to wear another person's shoes, but I think it has more to do with what you do, like how you show a person like how to be an impact, or by your actions, your daily actions, like how do you treat people, like how do you see people, how do you behave towards people. For me, those are definitely the most important things. So definitely it would be through actions. I can't be specific because I believe that each situation is a situation, but definitely by my actions towards the person in the first place.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah, as you were speaking, you know what I was thinking?
No, I have.
Uh, I was I was thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Having kids is like, you know,
Uh,
you said the experience and action are the best teachers.
mm,
And for you, you have to go through that experience to develop your empathy. I know that for me to develop the empathy that I have now, I had to hit fucking rock bottom, being the most negative place in my life ever, and it was horrendous, dark as fuck, and I had to go there for me to then develop all the empathy. So I'm thinking, as a father, as a parent,
mm,
I look at my kid and I'm like, bro, I know that for you to develop certain things in your life, certain character traits, you will have to go to that dark, negative
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And how do I just allow that and just look and sit back and be like, yo, you have to go through it, bro? It's life. Like, I think as a parent, that would be the most difficult thing for me, just letting my child go through hell,
Yeah.
knowing that that is going to build the character. I don't know if I'm prepared for that type of shit. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No one is prepared. No one. I'm pretty sure that our parents, they were not prepared to see us like reaching rock bottom and just being on the lowest in our lives.
And
But that's the only way. That's the only way. You only grow when you are out of your comfort zone, when you're facing difficulties, when you're on rock bottom. Because if everything is going perfect in your life, if everything is like, rainbows and butterflies, you won't feel the need to change. You won't feel the need to grow and evolve because you're in the comfort place. So unfortunately, as parents, I mean, I think we can try to guide our kids, like try to show them like how to do things, what is the right way, or what we consider to be the right way, that sometimes it might not even be the path that they want for their lives. So try to understand them, try to guide them, but there are certain experiences that unfortunately we won't have control. And in order for them to grow up, in order for them to become more like mentally strong people, like mentally like healthy people, in order for them to find themselves, they definitely need to go through these experiences. I mean, I don't think that I would be this person. I wouldn't be here talking to you, connecting with you, communicating with you, if I didn't have the experiences that I had back then that led me to depression and to so many other things. And I don't think that you would be here communicating with me, connecting with me, if you also didn't have those experiences. So pretty much those negative experiences, I believe that they are the ones, the main responsible for like making us grow, for building ourselves like the way that we are now because of that particular moment. Unfortunately, it's just life. It is what it is.
man, really, really what it is.
It really
Really,
sucks. It really sucks, but we don't have
man.
options. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll postpone the whole having kids until I'm like 55 or something like that.
Until you're what?
55 until I'm.
I mean, as long as you're ready, that's yeah, that's
Yeah,
mm,
yeah. I mean, it's not that long. I'm like almost there. 30 more years.
yeah. Sure, sure. I mean, it's not, and you have so many things. I mean, you have a life ahead of you. There's so many things that you can do during that time and prepare yourself to be a parent, even though no one is fully prepared to be a
Yeah,
parent.
you know, we're
You know?
prepared.
Yeah, and a
Yeah,
child is a child. You know, each child is a challenge, and it's a whole universe inside of the person. It's a human being, you know, in the shape of a baby, and it's just, and we just want to protect them. You know, make sure that they're not going to make the same mistakes as we did. But sometimes it's like that. Communication is not enough. I mean, you can try it and bring some sense into the person, but unfortunately, sometimes not everybody, but sometimes the person just needs to fall, and then he will learn his way back up.
yeah. There's this quote that I took from this podcast that I was listening a few days ago that says, "Don't don't look up to me because of my successes. Look up to me because of the number of times that I fell down and I came back up." I was like,
Yeesh.
that's the shit.
That is so deep.
Shit. That's my type of shit. I know, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's so deep. But yeah, that's that's actually the truth. I mean, if we are here now, it means that there are a lot of things back then throughout our life that didn't work out quite well, and those were lessons in a way. Of course, when we were going through the process, we thought that the universe or God, that He didn't like us and then He was not looking after us. But it was just basically preparing us for the present moment. And there will be other situations in the future that there will be certain parts of us that will have to work, that will have to evolve, and we will be exposed to not really pleasant stuff and not really pleasant situations, but those are the experiences that are going to make us grow and evolve to the next level, the next chapter of our lives. And then we'll look back, for example, to the specific time and understand, oh, why didn't that particularly work out, why didn't this happen, why I was feeling like this. So all of those positive and not positive situations led me to this particular moment, and that's what's life about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about going through it.
Yeah.
And now you mentioned something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you said that, a lot of these things are preparing you for the future.
Hmm.
And it seems as if you seem to have a quite a bright future ahead of you. Apparently things are coming out pretty well.
Yes.
Things are taking a shape that is very pleasant.
Yeah.
You know, getting excited here and there about this and that.
Mm.
Like, the future seems bright. It seems pretty bright. So, if you don't mind, you can share a few of those things and how you think that the past experiences have prepared you for what is about to come in the brightness of your life.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, this is this is actually interesting because yeah, we spoke about this. I remember like just connecting the dots, like how my past was messed up and how it led me to where I am now, and I just couldn't feel more grateful for everything, you know. Because looking, for example, when it comes to my academical background, I did electrical engineering, and I wasn't really happy with that choice, honestly speaking, because I wanted to do chemical engineering because I wanted to work in the oil and gas field, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a chemical engineer and I'm going to work with oil, and that's what I want. And yeah, but things didn't turn out that way. I ended up doing electrical engineer, and it's one of the things that led me into depression because I wasn't really sure about my future as an electrical engineer. I wasn't sure about my career. I had so many doubts about myself, and that was one of the main reasons that led me into depression and other things that were going on at that particular moment of my life. So a very funny thing that happened was that when I was going through that depression and I was feeling horrible and I just hated my life and everything, I wanted to run away from Mozambique. I just wanted to leave all of my problems here in Mozambique and be like, yeah, I'm bouncing, I'm starting fresh, and that's what I want for my life. So I remember that was in 2018. I applied for an opportunity to do an internship in Japan. But it's like, it's what happens like in the universe or with life. Like when you're not ready to deal with the certain kind of thing, if you're not ready to receive a blessing, you're just not going to receive, because there's certain kind of things about your life that you have to work on. So that would happen. This project, I don't know, this opportunity, it didn't work out. I don't really know the reasons, but it didn't work out, and we're not really informed the reasons why it didn't. So I had to stay here. I had to, to deal with everything. I had to deal with my depression. I had to do therapy and understand the reasons why I was feeling that way, which is the work that I didn't want to do in the first place. But I had to do that intense work and to get to know myself and be with myself, and understand why were things in life going that way, and what are the patterns or the cycles that I could work in order to make things better. So yeah, then I continued. I started working in a job that I didn't really like, but I was working because I needed to be, independent, and yeah, and have my own money and start doing my own things. But then it just came this opportunity for this training to South Korea and Japan. And I just applied, and it's so funny that, when something is meant to be yours, it is. When you're ready to receive something, after working on yourself and after doing everything, going through that entire painful process that became like one of the most important things that happened in my life. So yeah, this opportunity came and I just applied, like, let me just see where's this going. And if I wasn't really interested, I was just like, let me just try something new and whatever, let's see how this goes. But it was such a smooth process. Like when something is meant to be yours, it will be, and you won't even feel the need to make this extra effort or whatever. So yeah, I ended up being selected to Japan, to work in the oil and gas.
Woo!
Exactly. That was basically initially my motivation when I went to college and I went to do engineering, because I wanted to work in the oil and gas sector. And then I was there, in the oil and gas company. I was like, whoa, just working for, this big, very big project, of natural gas. I was like, oh my God. Um, it was amazing. Like it was an amazing experience, and now I'm really sure that I want to continue working in that field, especially because, like, I'm a woman. I want to be able to inspire more women, more girls to come into the technical areas, to come to engineering, because, like, I faced a lot of, I don't know, a lot of, I wouldn't say backlash, that's not the word, but like, I would hear such comments like, what are you doing here? This is not for women, you shouldn't be here. You should be doing, I don't know, like, business, or I don't know, management or whatever. But that's what I wanted, and I'm a very, like, self-driven person. Like, when I want something, I just go for it. So now, being able to continue, like, working in this industry, like, as a woman, young, with a future ahead of me, like, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. More opportunities are coming, more projects, and I just can't wait to see what is going to happen next. Of course, it's not going to be like 100% beautiful and wonderful, but in a way, I ended up going to where I wanted to, but not using the path that I thought that it was the one that I should go there. If you get me. So yeah, so yeah, that's how life is currently, and like my biggest lesson from all of this was basically, everything is aligned in life. Sometimes we might not see the alignment, but everything is aligned and everything is working in our favor. And I had to go through all of that process of being rejected the first time that I wanted to run away from my problems, that I wanted to go to Japan, and then to a place where I was perfectly aware of myself, and I was perfectly aware of myself, and I was ready to new challenges, to new environments, and here I am. So That's my advice. Just trust the process. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do in life. Just trust the process.
That's what's up. Hold the vision, trust the process. Yikes.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for what you have ahead.
Thank you.
That's what's up. So, you make your. I want to talk about your videos, but before we go there directly like that, I'm curious. Out of all the videos that you've made thus far, I'm sure that people have an idea in their heads of who you are. Oh, because of these videos, I think that she's like this, that, that. What's one thing that people probably don't know about you that they don't get on the video, but it is actually something, a trait of yours, or I don't know, something that people would be surprised to know about you that you're willing to share.
Uh, uh, well, when people they see my videos, I get a lot of this feedback, like, "Oh my God, you're such a strong woman. Oh my God, you're a badass. You're this and you're that. Like, wow, you're so, you know." But deep down, I'm a very shy person. Like, I'm really shy.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Not,
you know
not,
that. You
not.
know that. I am a very shy person. Like, even to start making these videos, because I start making some videos was last year, but because I was so shy and I didn't like to see my face for long, on for example on my feed or something. I would
Mm,
post on my stories for 24 hours, and who would have the luck to see, we will see. Who wasn't lucky, I was like, I'm sorry. And that was it. And that was it. Some people ask me for my videos, can you please send to me? I'll be like, nope. So I was extremely, and I'm extremely, extremely shy. But I don't know.
okay.
I just decided to just take a chance, and I was like, let me just share with people whatever
Okay.
goes into my mind, and I hope I'm not that crazy. And yeah, so yeah, I'm a really
Okay.
shy, introvert, and closed person. So don't believe on everything you see in social media. That's not.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Because you really, the way you express yourself in the videos, there's no way anyone could guess that you are,
I
like,
know, right? I know. Yeah, I get it. I get. I think it's easier for me, especially because I'm a very shy and closed person. So before making my videos, I would express myself to writing. I would write a lot, like write about my feelings, about the things that I was going through, like my experiences, my plans, and etc. But then I just decided to start recording it, and it's easy because it's just me and the camera, and I'm just in a close place, my safe place, my bedroom, my home, and people don't get to see me. But when it starts like evolving like other people, yeah, that's when anxiety knocks the door, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I can do this. So yeah.
mm, yeah. Okay, I feel you. But yeah, your videos, it seems like people are liking it, and this is me trying to make you very humble in this scenario when I say people are liking it, because the truth is, people are fucking loving this shit. I think that people can't get enough of these videos. They be talking about you gonna need these videos every day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
So,
much. Um,
yeah.
all of this started, back in Japan. Like I was in my room, I was in lockdown, I was feeling miserable. I was like, oh my God, like what is happening here? Then I just took my phone. I was like, let me just talk about this experience that I tried to go to Japan. The first time I didn't go, but then I continued working on myself, and then all of a sudden the opportunity came, and then I was ready, and I have to trust the process. And then I just did the video, and I just started receiving such a positive feedback from people. But it all started like as an appreciation video, like I'm grateful for this. Just trust the process. Don't think that whatever it's happening in your life right now, it means that that specific thing is just a phase of life. And you'll go through, you will get to whatever you want to go. So it started like that. Then all of a sudden, lockdown happened. Or it was happening honestly, and then I start start learning things throughout the process, as I mentioned, the empathy, the thing that I have to do like with time, no procrastination, you not having control over other people. Then I was like, yeah, let me share some things that I've been learning, through this time and etc. Because um I have some ideas. People be like, since you're here, it's not an unusual country for people to visit. Why don't you make videos talking about your experiences? Where you're going, the places that you're discovering, and blah 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 blah. Which are actually really nice ideas, but I don't think that I had a patience to do that. To be filming all the time. I just wanted to get a feeling, get inspired, and be like, I'm ready to share this particular experience with the people. And then I would just sit down and open myself up about it, that, yeah. And it's nice because I thought that I was crazy, but then I started receiving feedback and I could see that, oh my God, this was not only my concern, or this was not only my struggle or my pain. Like, there are more people that they're going through that. And that was like really awesome. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what's up. You're low key a superstar. Low key.
It's so weird. Like, it was so weird. I told you the other day, like people greeting me like, "Oh, you're that girl from the video." I was like,
Oh my god!
what
Oh my god!
is
Is
going on
that
here?
you?
When did this started? No, it's just Ivandra. It's just there is no video over here. Then, oh, thank you so much for your videos. Like, they've been helping me. Sometimes I receive this kind of messages, people saying that, my videos make them feel better. They wake up with a heart a little bit less heavy than the day before.
That's
And for
you.
me, that is, wow, that is priceless. That is amazing. That is amazing. Because when I started doing my videos, basically I was just trying to open up myself to the people and maybe tell them something that I wish someone would have told me when I was going through this particular
Yeah.
experience, when I was feeling this way, when I was insecure about this, when I was depressed, when I was sad, when I was whatever. And I was just like, we just have so many kind of like motivational videos from abroad. We see people from America, people from Europe, but we don't have like local stories about someone that you can look and be like, I know her. Like, we grew up in the same neighborhood, we attended the same school. She's been through that. I mean, I can surpass this as well.
Oh,
She did this, so I believe that I have the
okay.
ability to do that.
So
We don't
the
have those
guest has
local
been disconnected
references.
from the
And
chat.
when I decided
Uh,
to make my videos, I
we do
just
not
wanted to
know
show
what
people
has
that,
happened,
that here, in the
but
community here locally, in
yeah.
our country,
Okay.
yeah, we go through this kind of things as well, and we can surpass, or we can be stronger, and we can, that is just, something.
Sorry to interrupt you. Out there was a cut. Like you were disconnected for like 5 seconds.
It was,
So can you repeat that a little bit?
oh,
Yeah, you disconnected for like 5 seconds.
okay. So basically what I was saying, oh my God, what I was saying, oh my God, okay, let me try to,
You were saying about people
um,
approaching you and saying that the heart were softer after
okay,
watching
okay,
your
okay,
videos.
yeah. The heart was softer, like after seeing like a particular video, that I'm helping them through their process, to the depressions or breakups or some other things, that they go through, and that I shared and people can relate. And like for me, that is like, I don't know, I don't have a price. It's priceless. It's amazing for me because we grew up having these references like from abroad. We would see people, for example, from America or from Europe, just doing like motivational videos. But sometimes we don't have local references, someone that you can look and be like, we kind of grew up together, we attended the same school, she's been through this, and now I'm going through that, and she surpassed that, so I can use that as an example for my own strength. While I was going through depression, all I wanted to have was like a support system, like attend a support group and just talk to other people that have been through depression as well. I remember that I even joined the support group online where people would just go there and share what they were feeling. And in a way, just being surrounded by that people, it comforted me. It made me feel a bit better about myself. Like, she's feeling this way. Okay, so I can totally do this. I can totally, just live one more day, try to go out, try to exercise, try to do this, and just greet someone and etc. So that's the reason why I decided to start, start sharing some experiences. And because I also wanted to have like add a touch of reality on my social media, because people would just look at me and be like, "Oh my God, she's got it all. She's in Japan. Oh my God, she's living life." And I just wanted to share to them that their struggles are also my struggles. That their insecurities in a particular time of my life, I also had this kind of insecurities. So yeah, and it feels
Mm,
it feels so good, like when people actually relate to you and they're like, "Oh my God, wow, we love your content. Please continue doing." I'm trying to organize myself better because my videos are really spontaneous. Like I just wake up and I'm like, "Okay, today I'm gonna make a video," and then I might feel inspired like a month from here, and yeah, so I'm trying to organize myself a bit better when it comes to this posting videos and etc. But it feels
yeah,
really, really great to be able to help other people. I'm healing myself.
yeah.
So
I was gonna ask, do you have a vision for this area of your life? Because like you have your regular work, right? You have always dreamt of working in the oil and gas industry,
mm,
and you're doing that now.
mm,
But now you have this other, I don't know, maybe it's just a hobby, maybe it's just something,
yeah.
but that's what I want to ask. Have you thought about it, or you don't even want to overthink it, but maybe you have thought about where you want to take this? What is your vision for this videos? If you want to make it something, or you just gonna have do it whenever you have a time as a hobby, or do you actually want this to grow and become something that is part of your life and that you actually put some effort into this kind of stuff? Have you thought about any of this?
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I want this to be part of my life. I really I just love being there for other people. I love, giving support to people. My friends say that I'm a giver. I don't know, like that I give too much, that I that I care too much about other people. So, um especially after I've been through depression, I start feeling this need to open up experiences and like talking to other people and just being open to people. But at this particular stage of my life, honestly speaking, I haven't planned exactly how do I want to take this, like to be a more consistent way or more consistent platform that I can use to like support people or to just share experiences or to just teach someone something new and I can learn something with the person. So right now I've been doing, I would say, as a hobby, like a passion that I have for other people, for helping people. But in the future, I would definitely would like to take this to a whole new level. But it's still
Mm,
something that I need to sit down with myself and plan and organize because I have so many ideas, but I still have to sit down and see what is the best way to implement this based on our like current situation and our reality. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see where you take it because, as I said, one, you have this specific way in which you express yourself that I feel like a lot of people are gonna connect with.
Mm,
The way that you express yourself is it's very, it's very raw but thoughtful. I don't know how can you be thoughtful of something but still keep the emotions inside. That to me is a puzzle. For me, it's either it's raw or it's thoughtful. It can't be both at the same time.
mm,
So I don't know how you
mm,
do that.
mm.
Maybe it's a gift. Yeah.
I, I,
And
I,
yeah.
I think like when you speak with just your heart, I think it just makes things like more simple because when I do my videos, I don't do them expecting, for example, to have a lot of views. I don't do expecting, to win. I don't know how many followers. In my mind, it's always that mindset. If one person can relate to what I'm saying, if this video is going to help one particular person feel better about themselves or see that they can go through a specific problem or situation that they're facing in life, I feel like that's already a win. For me, like that's the major goal. So I just do with no expectations. I do with my heart. I'm honest about the things that happen, about my experiences. So I think that that's what makes it like so so natural, because people sometimes they talk to me like, "Oh my God, I don't know how can you be that vulnerable?" Like, "Oh my God, this video touched my heart. Oh my God, I cried while watching it." I was like, "Whoa." So, yeah, definitely it's just I'm just being myself. Yeah. I'm just being myself. That's the easy
Yeah,
way to just put this. Yeah.
that's the recipe. Just do your stuff and shit. But yeah, that's the second thing. It's like the first thing is the way you express yourself, and the second thing is the level of vulnerability. It's just crazy. When I watch your videos, I'm like, nah, this is insane. I would never do this in my life. This is insane. This level of vulnerability, I don't understand. Like, at what point in my life do I decide that I want to be this vulnerable? As Chuck, it's never.
Never.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that level of vulnerability is crazy, and that's why I know that videos will keep having the impact. Probably have more impact even than they already are. That's some dope shit.
Hmm.
That's some dope shit. And I remember something.
Yeah.
I remember before we started recording this podcast,
Yeah.
you were like, "Oh my God, are we gonna be able to talk for 1 hour?" So it's been 55 minutes already.
I don't
So
believe it. How did this happen? How?
hey man,
Well,
this is a true business combo. We don't play.
God.
True business
You
combo, we don't play. We're for real.
Oh my, honestly, like I was like, I can't do this. I thought when you said like, 45 minutes up to 1 hour, I was like, this is crazy. I mean, I think I can only talk for 15 minutes is okay. 15 minutes?
Nah,
Wow.
nah, come on, this is trailblazers. We're professionals.
I
We know what we're doing
see.
here.
I see. I,
Okay.
I, I don't have any kind of doubts anymore. Definitely you can
Come
talk
on,
up to
come
15
on.
minutes.
We're not playing. This is not. I think this is jokes. I think we're making jokes here. This is not a joke.
I'm
You
sorry.
think this is a joke?
I'm really
Like,
sorry.
hey, knock knock. Who's there? It's me. No, this is not jokes. This is real deal. Come on, no, you must be playing.
Definitely.
So yeah, in the last few words you want to leave out there, out in the universe, to the people that follow you, to the people
Oh.
that are listening to this, any last thoughts, fun facts, whatever the fuck that you just feel on your heart that you have to put out right now, anything.
I don't know. I'm just so grateful. Like I'm so grateful for for everything that happened in my life that brought me to this specific moment. I'm really grateful for the people that are they are able to connect with this kind of content, with the kind of experiences that I share. And I just, like I always tell, just trust the process regardless of what is going on right now. Your life might seem like it is a mess, that you have no control whatsoever of what is going on, but after reaching rock bottom, the only way that you have is up. So that's definitely where you're heading next. So just believe in yourself, continue working yourself, never give up, which is the most important thing by the end of the day. And thank you. That's all. I
Yes,
talk much.
that is what's up. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a big pleasure.
Oh,
We've been trying to set up this podcast for, I think, the past 3 weeks, and it's finally happened,
yeah.
which I'm very grateful for. It's a blessing. Every time I finish recording a podcast, I'm like, I can't believe that that what I have the privilege of doing on my free time is to get on the computer and talk to people that I care about, the people that are dope, to people that inspire me. I mean, what kind of job is that? That's the craziest shit that I ever heard in my life.
That is
Come
awesome. That is like really,
on.
really awesome. And thank you so much, Chuck, for inviting me for this podcast.
I
I've been running away from this like for for the past 2, 3 weeks, as you mentioned. I was like, I can't do this. I'm too anxious.
appreciate
No, you're like, just chill, chill. I was like, no, I can't. So it was a really interesting. It's a really interesting platform, a really interesting space when you just share, ideas and you share things about yourself. So congratulations, props to that. I hope you continue doing that because it's like really interesting and we need more of this kind of products, I would say, in this country, definitely. So keep on. We need this kind of conversations. They're really interesting and definitely we end up growing and learning something, throughout the process, which is for me the most important thing. So yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of this podcast. I'll leave down below in the description the handle, her Ivandra's Instagram handle, so you can go follow her and see all of her amazing videos with thousands and thousands of views and comments and all that because she's the shit. And yeah, see you in the fucking next episode. Leave the like and the subscribe and the comment so that the Trailblazers Club channel also grows and other people can have access to it and see all the good stuff that we're doing. Alright, this is the end of it. 1 hour and 5 seconds. Peace. 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 Peace.